Dear humans, I stand here today not for myself, but for every tail wagger, sloppy kisser, and curtain ninja. I stand here for each one of the thousands of dogs and cats killed in shelters each day, asking you to join our cause and help us make sure every best friend has a chance to meet one of their own. With Best Friends Animal Society leading the charge, and your help, we can save them all.
Thank you for joining us for Pet Connect. I'm Tara Douglas. We have another spay and neuter voucher event coming up next Saturday. It's going to be June 22nd at PetSense. It's good for Talladega County and Coosa County residents, and those vouchers are $30. And remember, that's $30 to get your dog or cat fixed. It doesn't matter if you have a male or female. And they have to go to Irondale to Alabama Spay and Neuter. We do have a transport that leaves here from Home Depot, but you can also take your dog or cat up there yourself. So you just call them and make an appointment, and then you can get it all figured out pretty easily. So make sure to come on out. We only have 150 vouchers we're going to be selling that day, and we'll be there from 9 to 12 or from 9 until we run out. So you want to get there early and make sure that you can grab one of those vouchers. And thanks again to the Talladega County Commissioners for recognizing this problem and making sure that we have some money this year for the spay and neuter vouchers. Because of them, we're able to have more sales. So thank your commissioners if you see them, and make sure to come out to PetSense on Saturday, June 22nd at 9 o'clock, and we'll make sure that you get a voucher. And also make sure to come out to the shelter this Saturday and every Saturday. We walk dogs from 11 to 1, and you can meet this sweet dog. This is Molly, and Molly is about 4 months old. She's only 15 pounds, so we think she's going to be a small dog. She's a terrier mix, and she is great with people, obviously. She loves to get hugs. She's great with other dogs. They figured out she's good with cats. So if you are looking for a dog, then Molly is your perfect companion. And make sure to come out to the shelter, meet all the dogs, but let's find Molly a home this week. Let's get her out of the shelter. And there is our dog walking. So come on out. You have to be 18 or older to walk a dog, but if you have an adult with you or a parent, a family member, then we can allow younger people to be out with the dogs. And there's so many things to do. We're walking dogs, and now that the weather's nice, we'll be giving them baths. There's a lot of different things. You can socialize the dogs and puppies, and you can sit out and just have a good time and spend some time with some animals. And even if you don't want to adopt a dog, there's so many things you can do to help the shelter and help the dogs at the shelter. So make sure to come out this Saturday at 11. And while you're there, you might be able to meet my next guest. I have Douglas Nixon here. He is our new animal control officer here in Sylacauga. So Douglas, thank you so much for coming on the show.
It's good to be here.
Now, you've been at this job for how long now?
Going on my first month.
Okay. And you were just telling me that you've been able to bring in how many dogs from the streets of Sylacauga?
Just within the last 2 weeks, about 20 dogs.
Okay, so remember, we've got the spay and neuter voucher sale. We can help Douglas quite a bit if you come on out and get those vouchers, and let's work on spaying and neutering so we don't have these issues. That's a lot of dogs.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell us the procedure, because it's been a little bit since we've had an animal control officer. What needs to happen for someone to get your help?
Well, between the times of 7:30 and 10:30, it's a weird area. It's if the dog is vicious or hurt, you will either call the shelter at 256-401-2590 or dispatch at 256-761-1556, and they will get in contact with me. I will go out to the field. If they're hurt, I'll handle them. I'll take them to the local vet that we use. If they're aggressive, we'll make sure we try to get them in and away from anyone that could be bitten or attacked. After 10:30s, it's your normal. If there's a dog in the yard or just a nuisance or anything like that, then I'll come out there. I'm also working with the shelter because of the overcrowded there. That between 7:30 and 10:30, I'm trying to make sure that the animals that we do already have are taken care of, clean, food, water, and everything, so they can be content for someone to come get them.
So you're quite busy being
I am.
Part of the shelter as well as the animal control officer.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm sure that there's not a moment in the day that you're not busy trying to help with the animal problem we
If
have
I'm
here.
helping an animal in the street or I'm helping them in the shelter, it's nonstop for 8
Now,
hours.
and you were saying that the shelter's full.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
mean, we're overcrowded.
Yes, ma'am. Last time I checked, it's about 150 dogs and about 83 cats, I
Okay.
would believe.
Okay. And so, again, I'm going to say this many times in this segment, spay and neuter your dogs and cats. That's the way we're going to be able to do something about this. And you were just saying we do technically have a leash law here in Sylacauga.
Yes, ma'am. We do have a
So-
leash law. If you're outside with your dog in the yard and are actively like playing with them and everything, that's understandable if they're not on their leash. But if you're not outside, you're not with your dog, and it's outside, I hate to say it, that if someone I get a call, I will have to pick it up. And we don't want that. We don't want any pets having to be taken away from their owners, especially having to go to an already crowded shelter.
So what territory, like who has access to you? Who calls you to get help? Where?
Anyone in the Sylacauga limits can call me. Or anyone that has been annexed into Sylacauga. I know we have a few spots like in Sycamore and everywhere there, in between Sylacauga and Childersburg.
Okay.
If you are annexed in the city, I can still come to you.
Okay. Now, just for the people that live outside of the city, who do they call? Do you even know? Do we have somebody they can call?
If it's outside the city, let's say if it's in Talladega and everything, you would call the county or the sheriff's office.
Okay. So there's still some help.
There
but
still
there's
is
no,
some help.
But you're the animal control officer for inside the city limits.
Correct.
And now you were saying that most of your calls are dogs,
Correct.
but there some help for cats, but that's a
There-
little more difficult.
Cats are finicky creatures.
Okay.
They don't like going in cages.
They typically not.
No. But yes, 90% of the calls will be dogs because they're easier to see. Cats are easier at hiding.
Okay.
But if there is a cat issue, I will attempt to set up a trap because trying to catch a cat with a catch pole is not going to be
Not
very
good for
easy.
anybody,
No.
including the cat.
Correct.
Now, but people only call you for dogs or cats.
Correct.
So-
We don't handle anything that would be deemed a pest.
Okay. So you're not coming out for any wild animals.
No wild animals, no
Don't call-
possums or raccoons. or
Don't call Douglas if you got a raccoon under your house. He's not coming out.
Correct.
And let's talk a little more about some of the dogs we have at the shelter. I mean,
Yes.
we've got a lot of wonderful volunteers that come out and walk dogs on Saturdays, and I know they mentioned last week you have been so busy. We've got a lot more dogs there, but the dogs that are there that are available for adoption, good dogs.
Oh yes, very good.
Yeah.
Loving, caring, want to be just loved. Some of them are just tired of being in the kennels, and we can't walk every single dog. We try to every week, but with there being an influx of dogs coming in, we just can't guarantee that everyone's going to get out, meet people or anything,
Yeah.
and we don't want that.
Yeah. And that's where the volunteers really come into play.
Oh,
If we
yes.
can get those volunteers out there, that can lessen some of that load on you. Because with a full shelter, that's tough for y'all to take care of every dog, get every dog out. You know, just cleaning and taking care of them with their minimum life needs it's overwhelming, I'm sure.
Oh
So,
yes.
yeah, so that's where we can learn so much about the dogs. If you come out on Saturdays from 11 to 1, not only is that fun for everybody, the dogs and the volunteers included, but it really takes a lot off of the shelter staff because we can get those dogs out. We can learn their personalities because, like Douglas was saying, we don't have, you can't really tell a dog's personality from them being in the kennel. You walk
Correct.
by and they are, they're ready. They're excited to see you. They're high maintenance at that moment. But you get them out walking around and you can really see their personality and know that this will be a good dog. So hopefully we can get more people out to meet these dogs at the shelter and to help get some adoptions. So let's talk about where the shelter is. So if you want to adopt a dog, you can go meet them at the shelter or walk the dogs. Tell us how to get there.
Well, we're at 41 Shelter Lane. It's a little bit odd since we do not have a definitive sign on the main road. And I know it's a little bit more difficult to find. But if you take the road straight across from Good Old Boys, going down past the gas station like you're heading towards the airport, you'll go there and take a right and you'll keep going until you hit a stop sign and take another right and we're right there. Now, there will be a sign on the road that says that the bridge is out and anything. That's just because they're doing maintenance on the bridge and everything, but that has nothing to do with us. You just drive past that and we're right there in the big red building.
That's great. And I have had some volunteers say that they'll call me and say, oh, the road's blocked, but all you do is just go around the barricade right now, and the shelter is way before there's a problem there with
yes.
the railroad tracks. But yeah, well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to share with us about, did we cover everything that everybody needs to know?
I believe so.
Good. So make sure to call. And then the number again?
For the shelter is 256-401-2590. And for dispatch, it's 256-761-1556.
And can people call either number if they
Either
need
number.
you? Okay.
If you can't get the shelter, it's probably because we're out helping the animals and everything. But if if you can't get us, call dispatch. But if the dog is attacking or is extremely vicious, do not be afraid to call 911. They will get a hold of me on this little radio right here.
Okay. So if you need any help, if you have a vicious dog, if you have a stray dog you've seen, if someone has their dog out and it's not on a leash and the dog's being a pest, then call Douglas and we'll make sure they'll make sure to get him out there. And come out to the spay and neuter voucher event. One last time, please get your dogs and cats spayed and neutered. So we've got this voucher event. The $30 is an amazing deal, and thanks to the Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill for putting this on, and thanks to the Talladega County Commissioners for helping with the money to provide these spay and neuter vouchers for the community. And please use them. If we get out and get this done, then we're going to make the world around us much better, and certainly make Douglas's life a lot easier. And come out this Saturday and meet Sweet Molly here. Let's find her a home. She is just a wonderful dog. All the volunteers love her, and we'll find her a home hopefully this week, and come meet all the other dogs and come help us help the shelter. So we'll be walking this Saturday from 11 to 1. Douglas, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for sharing how to get in touch with you, and we'll hopefully have a lot of people out there this Saturday to walk dogs, and hopefully your job will get easier soon.
We can all hope.
Thank you for joining us. We'll have more Daybreak after these messages.
Dear humans, I stand here today not for myself, but for every tail wagger, sloppy kisser, and curtain ninja. I stand here for each one of the thousands of dogs and cats killed in shelters each day, asking you to join our cause and help us make sure every best friend has a chance to meet one of their own. With Best Friends Animal Society leading the charge, and your help, we can save them all.